Tesla superchargers have been set on fire across numerous locations in the United States. Someone owning a Polestar electric car was attacked by an anti-Tesla protester who thought the Polestar was actually a Tesla. If you own an electric car and someone thinks it's a Tesla, well, it looks like you could get attacked as well. Attacks on Teslas are going on now all around the world. We know that well over 10 electric cars were set on fire in Germany. We know that someone has been, convicted or found with bombs in the United States, actually setting Tesla vehicles on fire in the United States. We've seen death threats. We've seen all kinds of crazy things, people having to move out of their homes because they own Tesla vehicles in America. But now it's hitting France as well. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. But at this point in time, maybe it's not so great to have you with us because I don't like where this is heading. I don't think the answer to any of this is violence against anyone. It's never really worked. So as I mentioned before, all kinds of insane things have been going on here with protests. Some of it, I understand people's feelings, but it's really kind of getting out of hand now. A dozen Teslas were set on fire at a French dealer, causing nearly $1 million of damage. On Sunday night, it looks like a few different people set fire to more than 12 Tesla electric cars at a Tesla dealership in France, according to a magistrate from the public prosecutor's office. The attack damaged both vehicles for sale and customer cars that were in for repairs. So it didn't just hurt Tesla, it also will hurt these customers who won't have a car. The motive, what is it? Well, they didn't say what their motive was, but it appears to be the latest and maybe the most serious incident amid growing tensions surrounding Tesla. We know as well as this, Tesla's car sales have declined, you could say crashed in Europe and in Australia, potentially in the United States as well. Protests targeting the company and its CEO, Elon Musk, have been on the rise all around the world over the last few weeks. Authorities say they believe this was arson, in part because of the fire pattern itself. It appears as though there were at minimum 3 different fire origins set, and the fire did not damage the building itself. Of the 12 vehicles burned, 8 were completely incinerated, just annihilated. 4 sustained partial damage, which basically writes them off. The prosecutor's office called the fire not accidental. They say they know it was intentionally lit. According to France Info, damage estimates are around, €735,000. So, getting close to 800,000 US dollars, more than $1 million Australian dollars. Very exclusive event here in Newcastle. Saturday, the 15th of March from 3 to 5 p.m. I'll be speaking here with just a couple of other speakers. Very small event. So you can meet me in person. You can actually have a look at my EV as well, the Xpeng G6. Test that out. I'll put a link in the description below to the event. I believe that the tickets will probably sell out very, very quickly. So if you're from Sydney, from Brisbane, from Newcastle, make sure you click on that link as quickly as possible to get in. I think there's only around 30 tickets left at this point in time. I'll put that link in the description and I'll see you there. A video from the scene shows the extent of the destruction, including cars burned so severely that only their skeletal remains are left over. There's nothing else. I mean, it would be hard in some instances, even you wouldn't know what kind of car this was, basically, let alone that it was a car. Well, you can see the wheels left behind, so that kind of is a giveaway, I guess. It appears as though the arsonist actually targeted a small group of cars, including several Model Ys and Model 3s. In another section of the lot, there is a Model 3 damaged on the front, but in better shape than some other cars in the lot. So you can see here, these vehicles were in the car park. And so it was pretty easy access from these vandals to go in and set fire to them. Over the past few months, protests and demonstrations against Tesla and its CEO, Elon Musk, have ramped up in numerous countries around the world. Weeks ago, protesters projected the word "Hail" onto the Berlin Gigafactory, signifying that Tesla was a Nazi-run company. Others put up anti-Tesla posters in London, while more demonstrators gathered outside dealerships across the US in the past month. Isn't it interesting how this new generation has forgotten, or they haven't really studied the fact that World War II, I believe about 70 million people died. 70 million people died. So I get that people are angry, and I get that people feel like Elon Musk is doing the wrong thing. And I'm not going to even argue with that at all. But equating what's happening in the world, in the US, with 70 million deaths, to me, is kind of offensive. I find this offensive. I find it kind of like minimizing the reality of the Holocaust, minimizing the reality of what actually really happened and how that affected, billions of people. How that just completely catastrophically changed the world. I think this kind of new generation. Now, I'm not saying that they should or shouldn't do this, but I think there's kind of a disconnect to some degree with reality. I feel like maybe they're stuck in their feelings a bit more and can't really logically say to themselves, this isn't necessarily going to do anything positive. That's what I think anyway. Do you guys agree? Let me know what you think. One person was arrested for attempted but failed arson at a dealership last week. At the same time, it well appears to be the most dangerous and destructive in nature, these new fires. Now, we have seen fires like this in Germany ongoing over the last 6 months. There's been quite a few fires. And also in Germany, they attempted to set fire to Tesla's factory. But this was before all this Elon Musk stuff. This was just ongoing protests in Germany over the last 3 years. However, in the United States, numerous people have been caught now setting fire to Tesla vehicles. And it's becoming an issue here where people who own Teslas have done nothing wrong, just own a car. They might have bought it 2 years ago, 3 years ago, even 5 years ago. They're also being targeted. And I think that's taking it way too far. Some vandals have targeted charging stations or individual cars, but we haven't seen anything at this scale before. But we might see, it looks like things are going to get a little bit crazy, even more crazy now. Despite the growing wave of anti-Tesla actions, both the company and Elon Musk have said nothing about it. Aside from Tesla's previous statement vowing to prosecute vandals targeting charging stations, there's been basically no response. French authorities, meanwhile, have yet to release information about the suspects. Consumers seem to be making their stance known with their wallets, though, says carscoops.com. Tesla sales have taken a big hit across multiple European markets and Australia. In the first 2 months of 2025, sales dropped 45% in France and Norway. Sweden saw a 42% decline. Denmark was hit harder. Tesla sales down 48%. Norway, that's an EV-only market. Even Toyota with their abysmal Toyota BZ4X, even that's beating Tesla easily, which is crazy. But it's true. So how do you guys feel about all this? Do you think that this is the answer? Do you feel like violence is the answer to the issues going on right now, these political issues in the United States with Musk and Trump and everything else? I don't believe it's going to solve anything. I believe it's going to probably alienate a lot of people. Like me, I just don't think, I'm actually on board with a lot of people who are against. I think things have gone a little far, right? But I think for me personally, it alienates me from a lot of people posting stuff on Facebook that they're becoming so extreme and so wild. Where they condone this kind of stuff. And to me, that is really an indication of a lack of emotional intelligence. If you're condoning violence, if you're telling people that this sort of stuff's acceptable, it really puts you on the same level as the people you're accusing. It doesn't actually help anything. It just creates a situation of, okay, I'm at war with you, you're at war with me, let's have a war. And I don't see how that is going to solve anything here. In my opinion, the best thing we can do is start a positive movement. Fight any kind of negativity with positivity. And my suggestion is always this, say something positive to someone every day. Imagine the enormous effects that can have. It moves our focus away from this, which, to be honest, it doesn't affect us as much as we think. And it moves our focus away from that so we can focus on the now, in being better people in the moment. So this isn't my challenge for myself. You guys can do it if you want. But my challenge for myself is try and think of saying something nice to at least 2 people every day. And let's see how that can spread. You never know. Butterfly effect, right? Maybe it could have an effect. Maybe it won't. I'm not sure.